Over the next 4 videos, I'm going to cover the top 4 blocks that I hear people talk about with meditation. Okay, and this first one that we're talking about today is I don't know what to do. It's either that they don't know how to meditate, or they say something like, there is so much to choose from. And when I read the benefits of each of the meditations, I feel like I need them all. I can't decide. Now, the practice of meditation focuses on something, whether it's the breath or a sound or an object like a candle flame or a voice that's guiding you through a visualization. It's all there to help you get present and focused. Because when you aren't, that's when you get distracted, anxious, and constantly feeling exhausted. By getting present and focused, you're emptying or quieting the monkey mind, you've heard those terms before, while expanding your capacity to concentrate. This is why children run circles around us, because they are so present. Meditation doesn't make you oblivious. It doesn't turn you in so much that you don't know what's going on around you. It makes you fully aware of what's going on both inside and out without feeling distracted or overwhelmed. It heightens your awareness as well as your ability to respond to it. And since we're talking about not knowing what to do, it also helps you to make decisions and to trust them. Now, isn't that what we want? So if you don't know what to do or which meditations to choose, I'm here to share with you the best meditation ever. Daily morning. Yes, daily morning meditation. And that's not a particular meditation that I'm even talking about. I'm talking about whatever you do it daily and do it in the morning, early. Okay, now there are thousands of meditations and they are all so good. And I definitely have my favorites. But the most important one to cover is how often and when. Now, I think I said that several times, so I hope that you get the picture here. Now, daily morning is it. And let me tell you, I'm going to cover a few points about that. First, you get it out of the way. And during a time of day when the majority of the world is still sleeping, and so there's no distractions, no phone calls to make, people aren't calling you during this time, they're not expecting you to do anything at that time. Okay, so life can't get in the way and disrupt you, nor will you have this to-do, this meditation that you have to do today, right, weighing on you until you finally find the time to do it during the day. And if you don't, then you feel bad about it. So you're just getting it out of the way. Starting your morning with meditation means you're starting the morning tapping into your soul and to your own soul's desires instead of rushing to the next thing or responding to someone else's needs, whether it's work or your children or whatever else you can think of that always comes first in the morning. By choosing meditation first, you're setting the tone for the day in a completely different way, powerfully anchored into yourself and what you want to get out of your day and life. Getting up early to do this isn't easy for most of us. And it can also be tempting when you do get up to say, now that I'm up, I can get ahead on my work and get that out of the way. But by choosing meditation, you're putting yourself, the part of you that is yearning for connection, for purpose, for trust in yourself, for you're feeling that semblance of control. You're putting that part of you first. And by surrendering into this, everything else becomes easier. It's like getting on an up escalator to go up. You can get on it and stand there and it still takes you up. Or you can walk the escalator and it's just, and you're going up and it's easier. And that's why we choose the escalator over the stairs. It's just easier because you're getting that assistance. It's nice. Now, have you ever tried going up a down escalator as a kid? Now, you can definitely do it. You can almost always get up all the way up the down escalator, but it takes a lot more work. And morning meditation, it's like going up the up escalator every time, or going down the down escalator every time, rather than going the opposite direction, going against the flow. And we talk about that, right? In yoga is going with the flow, and that's what that is. Okay. Now, why does it work this way? Why does the escalator analogy work with life? Because we are nature. We're nature, like the trees are nature, and the sun is nature, and our energies sync with nature. Whether we like it or not, that's how it works. And when we work with the flow of nature, like with the escalator, we flow in the direction of where we want to go. When we don't, we find resistance. That's the thing that where it gets harder, right? You can do it, but it takes a lot more work. Now, getting up before 6 a.m. is what entrains you to the energies of that time, which facilitates movement and clarity in a more anchored way rather than a harried way, right? It's because meditation grounds you. And to do it during that time, when you get up after 6, it entrains you to a different kind of energy that feels a little bit more draggy, like you're really dragging yourself to do the things that you need to do. And it gets easier to do the difficult things in life when you get in the habit of getting up during that time. That circadian rhythm, that's between 4 and 6 a.m. And that's the time that most ideally works for us to get into that flow of getting on that up escalator. The question is, why does it feel so hard? It's because we're just not used to it. We've gotten into the habit of getting up later than that. And when you try to do something that you haven't been doing for, who knows, decades, of course it's going to be hard. Remember, what you do gets easier to do, and what you don't do gets easier not to do. Now, how easy is it to press that snooze button? Just decide you can do this, and you can. This is why the top 5 or top 10 habits of successful and happy people always include getting up early and meditating. This is why the master yogis do it. This is why my clients tell me that when they don't get up early to meditate, they can definitely feel a difference in their day. I can definitely feel it. It has definitely changed my life. Now, if you have small children that get up early, do this. And you may not like to hear what I'm about to say. Get up earlier. That's what I did. And I promise you, I was not the morning person. I was the mom who was trying to figure out what foods I can set up, that I can have ready and accessible for my 2-year-old, so that I can just get that extra 10 minutes of sleep. Before kids, when I didn't have to get up for work, I was in bed until 11 o'clock. For me to get better control over my own life, because I felt out of control, I started my morning practice at 4:30 in the morning, and I had a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. I know this sounds crazy, but it changed my life. I promise you, it beats putting your kids to bed at 8, falling asleep with them, getting up at 9, and then staying up to have you time until midnight, and then struggling to get up in the morning and doing that over and over and over again. It's exhausting. Just go to bed with them and get up before them. Do your meditation. Eventually, you'll be able to go to bed later. I did this, and eventually I was able to go to bed at 10 and get up at 4, and going from needing 9 hours of sleep to 6. Is that right? 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 6 hours of sleep. That's a huge difference. 3 hours of sleep that I was able to cut out. And I was actually happier, clearer, feeling more rested and more energetic, having 6 hours over 9 hours because of how I started my morning. it does start to build a reservoir of something that really works in your favor physiologically. And the best part is, I was happy to see my kids. Not that I wasn't happy to see them before, but I was happier to see my kids. I wasn't struggling between wanting to see my kids and being tired and wanting more sleep. I was happy to see my kids and everyone else for that matter, because I was full. I filled myself first. So how to start? First, start with the one simple breath. You want to breathe correctly so that you can get the right balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide going through your entire body to give you stamina, energy, and calm. Training yourself to breathe properly is really the first thing. It's important because when you don't, then your physiology, what happens with your body, with your mind, when you're not breathing correctly, that is what's going to betray your intentions of getting the stuff done or doing the things in your life or approaching things in the way that you wanted to, but finding that you're doing it in a way that you don't want to. It starts with the breath. Start there first. I'll put the link to a tutorial below. Or you can find any mantra, which will help regulate the breath as well. We have plenty of videos here that you can find on our channel that you can look for that has mantra that you can follow along with. If you need more guidance, I do a 30-minute practice every day that I open up the practice to for anyone to join. If you're interested in that, I'll put the link below on a couple of ways you can do that. But here's the important part. Before you go to bed in the morning, set up your meditation cushion wherever you're going to practice with the blanket, whatever you need to make yourself warm, because often we like to stay in bed and we like to wrap ourselves around the covers. We love that warmth, right? That comfort. So make it really easy. Set it up so that you can just move over to your meditation cushion and find that same kind of coziness, but now you're sitting up. I'm going to suggest not trying to do this lying down. It really doesn't work. You're going to fall asleep. And so sit up, get yourself as comfortable as possible, and drink first thing in the morning when you get up. Go pee, brush your teeth, and get to your mat. Set that alarm, and the last thoughts that you think before you go to bed is really important. You don't want to be scrolling and then thinking about what you found, whether it's in your email, in your social media, or in your text. You don't want to be thinking about the show that you just watched. Read something inspiring for last, or do a meditation, do a breath meditation, do a mantra meditation. Again, you can find a ton of these on this channel. Just scroll around and just choose any random thing, any random meditation. It doesn't matter what, because remember, daily and morning, and you can do this at night before you go to bed too. You can add that second meditation practice. And the last thought you want to have before you go to bed is an intention. It's really important to have an intention. It really works. It's much more powerful than you think. And the intention is, I'm going to get up at the alarm. Rather than snoozing, I'm going to get up at the alarm, or I'm going to get up before the alarm. It is shocking. Whenever I set that intention to say, I'm going to get up before the alarm, I literally get up before the alarm. The important thing is to say, I'm going to, and feel that intention in your entire body rather than thinking, I'll try to get up. Because your body, you're not feeling it. You're not believing it. Your mind is not gonna, there's nothing to obey there, right? And we're gonna use the word of obey. I just use that word. We're trying to train our mind and our body to obey our highest desires, to work with what we want to do, to make our lives better, to make ourselves happier, to feel greater ease and joy and clarity, and to be able to make the decisions and to trust ourselves and all that stuff. And in order to do that, you got to stop doing this, I'll try. I'll give it a shot because your body's not feeling it. Go into your sleep with that intention of deciding and committing. Feel it throughout the body. Use your language first and make sure that your body's feeling it along with what you're saying. Okay? And that's it.